everyone, and welcome back to The Guest Life. Today's video is all about how we get the wood to heat our off-grid home. So usually we have to go by snowmobile, and we'll just kind of hand pick the dead trees in the bush that we can get to, and we'll do one sleigh load at a time. But if the ice is just right and the snow conditions are just right, we're able to get wood the easy way about 1 to 2 times a year. So this pile behind me took my husband and myself about 5 hours from start to finish. But to tell you the truth, I did only do about like 20% of the work. So this is pretty much one man's doing in 5 to 6 hours, which is pretty good. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video where I share the little DIY upgrades we've done to the cabin over the past few years that took our wood consumption from this to this. Hello, Raven. Now these would have been what we would have burned on a pretty cold day, like say -25, -30. So these are kind of conservative estimations, but you get the gist that we've pretty much halved our wood consumption just by doing a little tweaks around the cabin.
No roses on my bed. If I could pull you closer to me, babe, ain't nobody touch me like you can. I just need some closure, a little closure. I don't need no roses on my bed. If I could pull you closer to me, babe, ain't nobody touch me like you can. I just need some closure, a little closure. I just need some closure. Like you to me, babe. I just need some closure. I need some closure. Like you to me, babe. I just need some closure. Pull you close. Like you to me, babe. I just need some closure. Tear me apart when I know you don't want me. Cause I've been going fast and you wanna go slowly. Maybe I'm just wasting time. Tell me how you feel. I don't wanna be a friend, I want something real. Maybe if I say goodnight, you could feel the same. And maybe if you treat me right, we can rearrange. But I'm not even gonna try if you don't wanna stay. So how's it gonna be?
I'm gonna keep the cabin for a week.
No roses on my bed. If I could pull you closer to me, babe, ain't nobody touch me like you can. I just need some closure, a little closure. I don't need no roses on my bed. If I could pull you closer to me, babe, ain't nobody touch me like you can. I just need some closure, a little closure.
And delit. We're absolutely loving this big nylon rope this year. There's virtually no whiplash, so it's definitely making this job a lot smoother.
I can tell you my problems, meditating my silence. But I keep pushing my pen and rotating my stylus. Broken is feeling like sin, and I know crap low dollar. Used to be left on red, now all the girls go holler. Now all the girls go follow. All the fake fans gon' pile up. I need peace to borrow, get that shit right back tomorrow. Somehow all the fans go bravo. Smile so much to hide my sorrows. Think the shaky and bravado. I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes. I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes. Couple things I know, couple things I show.
The first thing we did to tackle the heat retention in the cabin was dealing with the floor because it wasn't insulated. So the first thing we purchased was these little floor panels. They had OSB on the top, blue insulation on the bottom. They were super easy to install. They were just tongue and groove. There was a little bit of scribing we had to do, but anybody could do it. It was super easy. My husband and I did it in the better part of a day. This did the biggest difference, I'd like to say, because before we did this, there would be frost coming through the floor in the winters on any type of nail there'd be in the corners. Things would get stuck to the floor. My feet would feel like they were getting frostbitten unless I had really good slippers or boots on, which was bothering me, especially with young children, because they're always on the floor. So we purchased these right away, and they made a huge difference. Before them, because the floor was so cold, the cold air drove the hot air up to the top. So the loft was pretty much unusable in the winter because it was too hot up there. So these were a really great purchase, and they've made such a big difference. The second thing we did was put a type of foil insulation underneath the floor. It kind of looks like foil bubble wrap. I don't know its exact name, but my husband and brother-in-law crawled under the cabin, put that all up there, and then the whole cabin was skirted with plywood. And then kind of just a common sense hack is banking up the whole cabin with snow, because snow is a great insulator. Before this, you'd really notice all the wind rushing up from the lake, up the bedrock, underneath the cabin. So it did make a huge difference getting that all blocked off and that little bit of extra insulation underneath the floor. To also help with the wind coming off of the lake, we added a type of sealant, I think it was called DAP, in between all of the cracks that we could possibly find in the entire cabin. It was actually crazy. After we did it, we couldn't hear the lake as much and we couldn't hear the wind as much. It really cut a lot of the wind movement that we didn't even know was happening through the cabin. And a bonus, since we've done it, we haven't had any mouse traffic in the cabin. So that's almost just worth it in itself. So the last main thing that we did was adding plexiglass to the insides of the windows in the winter. We take them off in the summertime so we can open up our windows, but during the winter, they're not getting open anyway. So we add these plexiglass sheets to it. They have like a little styrofoam around the whole edge to help it seal properly. Before we had added these, the windows would be constantly frosted over, which was then melting and wrecking the walls. So not only was it hurting the cabin, but we couldn't enjoy the scenery out of any of the windows. The only other little thing that we do is when it's really cold, we have a blue jean blanket that goes over our front door because there is a little bit of draft that goes around there and it kind of gets into our bedroom. So it does make it cozier if we put that blanket up. So that's everything I had to share with you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and look forward to our videos every Sunday. See you in the next one. Bye.